All right, folks, John Rush here today, and camera's on the tripod. Got nobody with me, so it's just you and I today. So 2017 Prius Prime Advanced. That's the model of this particular Prime. Prius Prime, I should say. We'll get into that in just 1 second here. And again, some of you out there either love Prius, hate Prius. What I will tell you is when you drive a Prius, you find other owners out there, I should say other drivers out there, they either hate you or they love you. Frankly, I don't mind driving the car at all. I think it works actually very, very well. We average 56 miles to the gallon in this car, 36,000 and some change, and it's got a combined 133 miles per gallon equivalent, they call it. So that's a 26% enhancement over the previous generation, 640 mile range, combined horsepower of 121, and this particular model, 6.5 inches longer, 0.6 inches wider, and 0.0 inches lower with a the 0.25 drag coefficient. And again, it's all Prius. It works great. If you've never driven one, don't knock one until you try it. The car absolutely works fabulous. Let's get into that in just 1 minute. As you look at the front of the car, again, you'll see really, really nice, sleek, chiseled look to it. That's where they get the low drag coefficient. Really nice lighting, and I will tell you, the car has fabulous lighting on it. And you know what? Let's do this. I'll take the camera off the tripod. We'll take a quick walk around, then we'll get into the interior of the 2017 Prius Prime, and this is the advanced model. All right, folks, again, I'm behind the camera. I apologize. I don't have a cameraman today, so it's just me. So let's take a quick walk around the Prius. Again, the Prius Prime, it's called, which is a little different than the regular Prius. You'll notice it has a little bit different look, more of a chiseled look to it, and frankly, I think has a better look to it, sort of a Lexus-looking front end to it. The way they've got sort of that spindle grille up front, really not a, again, not a bad looking car. It's a lot different than the normal typical Prius, mainly because of the way they've got the body lines. And when you look at the side of it, let me back up enough here to get everything in. You look at the whole body lines, it's just got more of a sculpted look to it than what you've seen in the past from Prius. So let's come around the back, show you that. And again, same thing. It kind of follows all the way through. Nice little indentation there that you'll see on the back hatch and the spoiler area. And you can see through that back area. So just something to note there. And I'll tell you what, I'll pop the trunk in just a minute, or the back hatch, I should say, and I'll show you the interior creature comforts of the 2017 Prius Prime. All right, back hatch open. It's not an automatic hatch. You can pop it. It does come right up. Not a big deal. But you'll notice in this car, one of the things that you'll have to look at, not a lot of storage space. As you look over here at the side, in the distance, there's just not a lot of height to it. You can still put some boxes and such in the back, but you are going to be limited into the height. Now, one thing that you'll notice on this car that I didn't mention in the walk around, here's your gas cap over on this side. This is also a plug-in hybrid. So, over on this side, you'll notice, if I pop this, there's your plug-in for your charging cord, which, by the way, is nothing special. One of the things that they highlight on this vehicle that Toyota does, you don't need anything extra in the garage, nothing mounted anywhere. You can plug into any 110 volts outlet and it will charge the vehicle just fine, and that's partially where you can get that extra mileage out of the car. But let me hop into the back seat and I'll show you more of the 2017 Prius Prime. All right, folks, now in the back seat of the 2017 Prius Prime, and you'll notice more than enough legroom, ample actually. Very, very nice. This particular model has an optional deal over here where you can actually mount the iPad to the back of the seat, which is kind of a cool feature. This does have only 2 seats in the back. There's got a console in the middle, a couple of cup holders, but this is a 4-passenger vehicle only. You're not putting a 5th passenger in this vehicle. One thing also that you'll notice getting in and out of the back seat, this rear line, because of the aerodynamics, does come down pretty sharply, and you'll have to get yourself in and out of the car knowing so. Not a big deal, just something to consider. I'll hop into the front seat, but as I mentioned real quick, before I do that, nice soft tech leather. It's an imitation leather, but it feels exactly like leather. You've done a really great job on it, Toyota. I enjoyed driving this car, so let me hop into the front seat. I'll tell you more about the 2017 Prius Prime. All right, folks, now inside the 2017 Prius Prime, and this was easier to do not being on the tripod. I want to show you how the dash is laid out. So there's where all of your main information is for your driving and, just all your normal things. This does have a heads-up display, which you will not be able to see, maybe, but it's right in front of you right there. Sunglass holder up above, so as you can see this up here. Sunglass holder here. It does have the SOS, so the telematics built in. And again, nice soft touch throughout. So as you look through the vehicle, actually, they've done a really, really nice job on the interior. And one of the coolest things, and I got notes from this from people actually driving with me, or riding with me, I should say, really, really cool center stack. So all the things you would expect, all the information. If I go to the home button, I apologize, touch that the right way. Go to menu. If I want to go to the info on what we've actually done as far as driving, look at the past record. There's my 56 miles to the gallon almost, I should say. I can actually go backwards, look at the energy, what's actually happening with the vehicle itself as far as battery. You'll notice right now, engine is off, battery is on, and you'll notice it's running the climate control. It's one of the key features this vehicle has, is the engine doesn't have to run to make the climate control work properly. So earlier this week, I actually had a meeting that I had to do, and I was in the car and I really couldn't stop anywhere to do it, and I basically took about an hour and a half to 2 hours and had an internal meeting right out of the vehicle itself over the phone, plugged my iPhone in, and quiet, didn't have to run the engine. It was really my portable office for really an afternoon, and it worked out fantastic. As I move over into the steering wheel, you'll notice all the different things that are here: heated steering wheel, lane departure, adaptive cruise, your phone selections, volume control, all of that. And again, great job on this car, Toyota. I think you've done a great job. I really like it. As I move into the middle, you'll notice it does have the wireless capability for the wireless charging, 2 cup holders, which work well. Center console right here, which it's hard to see with our lighting, but fairly deep, not a bad console, fairly decent amount of room. And then of course a glove box underneath, and there is door pockets. So we'll take a drive in this vehicle here in just a few minutes, and I'll let you know a little bit more about the vehicle. But acceleration, how the vehicle works, being able to monitor everything on the screen, fantastic, fabulous, plenty of pickup. Toyota, you've done a home run on this vehicle, and for the price, really folks, if you're a commuter, you're looking for top fuel economy, and you're really looking for an overall vehicle that will last for generations, literally, here's a vehicle for you, and it doesn't look like the old Priuses of the past. So check one out at your local Toyota dealer, and let's go take a drive in the 2017 Prius Prime. All right, folks, now we're going to do the drive of the 2017 Prius Prime. As I put the car in reverse, as you'll notice, it does have the backup camera up above. Does not take the full screen. They just take the upper third. And you'll notice an audible sound telling you you're backing up. And one of the things that they do also, well, anyways, I'll get in a minute. No dynamic lines, as you can see, which isn't a big deal. Just tells you where you're going. And again, the audible when you're in reverse, letting you know that you are backing up. And that's not on all cars. Notice that really just on these hybrids is where you see that more than anything. And again, we're cold out this morning. I apologize, I wasn't able to finish the review yesterday with Richard, so he's now helping me out. And you'll notice the car's cold. Even with that, everything is warming up. And as I go to the actual menu, we'll go here, we can actually look at the info, and it'll again tell you on the vehicle exactly what's going on. So you can tell the engine's running to get things warmed up. It's actually going into the motor, drive the front wheels, and also to charge the battery, all at the same time. So as I get going here, one thing you'll notice about this car that I noticed right off the bat is it's pretty agile. The car actually works well, handles well, and in my opinion is quieter than some of the other Prius models I've driven in the past. So not only did they get a little bit better look in this car, a little more chiseled look like I talked about in the review, but all in all, the vehicle performs well. And I've had people sort of make fun of me for driving the Prius, but the reality is this car, if you were doing a lot of daily commuting, looking for good fuel economy, all the creature comforts really of a luxury car are inside this vehicle, from heated seats to the adaptive cruise to the lane departure warning to all those different things are all built in on this particular vehicle. And I don't really have to go for a really super long drive. And you'll notice even here, anti-lock brakes, works on the ice, works great. One thing I will tell you about this car that I noticed driving it, I had a situation the other day where I was driving it, got off of an off-ramp. I was driving 65, 70 miles an hour, and cars literally were backed up on the off-ramp to where literally you got off the ramp and had to literally almost slam on the brakes to get stopped. What I will tell you is this car has no trouble stopping quickly. In fact, it stops so quickly the cars in back of you are the ones that have a hard time getting slowed down. So just something to take note of. All in all, what's my impression of this car? Well, it's a Prius. Take it or leave it. In this particular case, I think they've done some great things to adjust the lines of the car and make it look a lot better where it's not looking like a Prius. All in all, great car. I enjoyed driving it. I had no issues with it whatsoever. It is a 4-passenger vehicle. That's something to keep in mind. There's no way to put 3 people in that back seat, but plenty of room inside for 4 people. This is a car you really can drive anywhere you want to go, and we averaged, again, 56 miles to the gallon and didn't plug in a ton doing so. Really, just at night was all we were able to do, nothing during the day whatsoever, and still got 56 miles to the gallon. So go check out this car at your local Toyota dealer. When you do, tell them John and Richard Rush from Drive Radio sent you.